Evening, everyone, and welcome to the Metaphysical Hour. I'm Julia Cannon, and this is my co-host, Tracy Mahan, or Mayhem, just depends on her mood. So
Today I'm not moving. Notice I only went this high. My body's all stiff from working in the yard. So I'm moving slower today.
So you're doing your mayhem in the yard.
I am wreaking havoc out there. So
yeah, it's looking good. I saw a picture right before we went on. Looks looking good.
making progress. And all of a sudden I got freed up for the weekend to work on it because we're not supposed to be here, you guys.
We're not. This is bonus.
Yeah.
Bonus footage. Yeah. So, unfortunately, the wildfires in California, they were actually in the area that we were supposed to be, and they were using that area. They needed to use it for rescue and operations, post-fire operations. So they had to postpone the event.
Yeah, we're bummed.
Actually. Yeah. So we
wish them the very best. You guys, yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. And we have Tiffany up in the heavens with us here. So I see, because she's up in the.
They really just need to be honest. They really just need to be honest, because it's really they just missed me. So
we did.
That's why it didn't happen.
Yeah, she wasn't going. She didn't go. So yeah, that's true. We just changed everything so that we could be all together.
Yeah, that's right. What timeline would put us with Tiffany?
Yes. We're going to talk more about timelines in a minute, but first be sure and say where you're from, because that lights up your grid. It lights up the energetic grid that's around the earth, and it shows us where your part of it is. So cool, so cool. But claim it, claim your spot. That's why you're there.
I like that term, claim it, because I think we need to do that in a lot of things in our lives.
Yes, absolutely.
Claim our health, claim our good fortunes, claim them. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then how do they do everything, Tracy?
You guys, if you would like to ask us questions, and we would like you to ask us questions because you have really good questions, just put Tiffany in capital letters and then ask your question. You can surround it with heart emojis or little angel emojis or happy face emojis, all the emojis.
Creative emojis.
Anything you want, yeah. And then she'll know that you're asking a question because you got her name in capital letters right there. If you are commenting and asking questions through a Facebook, viewing it through Facebook, then please open it up into its full form, and then that way we'll get the question. Because if you're just scrolling and you comment below the scroll, it doesn't show us, so you have to open it up in its feed. And I think we got it. Other than it's very, very, very important that if you want to watch it from YouTube, you go to mine. Anyway, the forever YouTube battle.
Toss a coin and pick the one you want.
We get so close, you guys. It's just kind of fun to do this with you.
It's just our fun competition.
It's like, whose YouTube's gonna get more? And so if you're watching on YouTube, yeah. And if you're watching for mine, woo, no. See, all the reactions. Look at all the reactions you get out of me. It's so much fun.
Oh goodness, that's funny. Anyway, okay. So I guess we'll give it a minute before we do where everybody's from. So today is summer solstice.
Yes.
Longest day of the year for the northern hemisphere, and we have a full moon.
Yes.
Yes. So are there any energy goings on or anything happening with all of that combination?
The solstice, I'm not real sure. The full moon, I did read something on the full moon and watch something on the full moon. Now I have to.
I think it's going in Capricorn.
It is in Capricorn.
Yes.
Yes. Usually Capricorn buckles down, right? It's like, get busy, do your work. I think that there was supposed to be some doors opening. You were going to lock in Like if you were trying to make some changes, that was gonna start revealing itself. Like if you're sitting there going, I know I need to change, I just don't know what.
Yeah.
That song and dance, I think that this full moon's supposed to help you anchor in a direction.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
people are, I know that there's a lot of, and we experience this big time in Sedona, but that, I hate this term, but I'm going to use it, leveling up. You're moving to something different.
Yeah.
You are changing what you're doing or how you're doing it. And so this moon is just really in there supporting that. So a lot of people going through that, through moving, through spiritual awakening stuff, starting their own businesses and that kind of thing. And they're just really is a lot of support around that. So
Very cool. I noticed the last couple of days I've been having, it's kind of like that little, it's hard to explain what it is. It's not dizzy, but it's like things go wonky kind
the
of thing.
symptoms, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's when I do my neck a certain way or something, it's like, I'm noticing that. So I'm trying to say, okay, is that trying to tell me something but it's not consistent. So I think it's, anyway, I think that's something that maybe because I know of a couple of other people have told me they're kind of feeling a little lightheaded or, it's like, it's hard to describe. So it could be the same thing. We're just saying different words.
Possibly, yeah. I know the lightheaded and kind of dizzy thing happens a lot with Ascension Symptoms. And we've got a lot of energy. I mean, we got the full moon, we got the solstice. I haven't checked on the solar flares or the Schumann resonance lately, but those are usually playing with us too. And even today I had just a fun little conversation about the light codes that come in through like the sun and all that. And for those of us who are in our summer now, there's going to be a lot of codes coming in. I live in Oregon, so I know the sun's out every day of the year. Sometimes I can't see it. So all the clouds, but right now it's sunny and nice and in the 80s. And yeah, so it's we're out there getting our sun codes and all the things, dialing it in. So
yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, I
I
think all those combined, like you're saying, the energies and everything, I think we are much more sensitive to everything. So that's why we're maybe feeling things that we hadn't felt before. But I thought I heard something about like with all this combination of things that the veil is getting thinner and thinner, but it's like we're experiencing it like on this, we're getting a dose of it of like very little veil to no veil kind of thing of what feeling will be.
I've had clients that have just no veil. It's like their answers are just bing, bing, bing. What I was going to say though is I know that a lot of people have gone through a shift where it comes in as like this sinus bug thing that goes on for like 2 weeks. Yeah. And
that's what I had going on.
And I had and this was through a channeled session. I had somebody ask about that, and what came through was that the DNA is changing, and this is one of the ways of releasing the old DNA.
That we're
releasing old DNA.
Releasing old DNA. Oh, cool. Okay.
I know. So I thought, man, I want to share that. That seemed kind of cool.
It is cool. Because it goes on like that first part goes on. It's 2 weeks. It's just 2 weeks. That's how it is. But then there's a cough that's continuing. It's not as bad. It's definitely lessened, but it's still going on. And I'm little over 3 weeks from it. So
yeah. Well,
get rid of it. Okay, old DNA, go. Out with the old.
Everyone's probably just like, what are those two doing?
Yeah, exactly. So if you didn't have those, see, and this is where I don't want people to, oh, well, I didn't have it, so that means I didn't have that happen to me. You're probably doing it a different way. This is just interesting. She asked because she had this, and there were several people.
Yeah, it was somebody that actually was at the retreat.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I get more clarity as to what session that was. But yeah, she had asked about that because they went through the same thing.
Mm.
And that was really a good clarification of what was going on there. So
Yeah, very
but
good.
there is some clearing, but it also, the information was also that there are other ways to clear it if those aren't the only symptoms. So,
Yeah, because I do not want anybody to think, oh, wait a minute, I'm not part of that special group or something like that. It's like, it doesn't,
everybody's part of
nothing,
it.
exactly. We're all doing it. We're just doing it in
You
different
can't
ways.
get out of it. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, we're all, and it doesn't always hit everybody the same way.
Right.
So it's kind of like your astrology chart. It's like, oh, it's a full moon. Well, that's going to be different for me as a Capricorn than it's going to be for you as your Aries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to fall different in our chart. Well, energy hits us all differently when we're going through that too, and our
Mhm.
different shifts in DNA and everything. So of course we're going to purge that a little differently. So
Absolutely. Okay, Tiffany, where is everybody coming from? I can't wait to hear.
Scrolling back, let's see. We have Philly, Georgia, California, Miami Beach, Wisconsin, Australia, Brazil, Seattle, Colorado, Texas, another Texas. I'm just going to shout out all the Texases. I'm
You
just
got
going to ignore
company.
everyone else and just
There you
Texas.
go. You got all the company.
everybody's there for
Minnesota.
you, Tiffany.
Exactly. Idaho, Nebraska. Hello, Judy. We have another
Hello, Judy.
Texas, South Africa, Minnesota. Yeah, a lot more Australias.
We got Norway on
Thank
here.
you.
Utah.
Oh.
Oh, you're down there.
Yeah.
Canada. Oh, there's Canada representing New Jersey. Yep, Norway, New Zealand,
Yeah.
Florida.
Amazing. Amazing.
I love how
I
there's
think Texas won, though.
Texas, and there's no Arkansas or Oregon. Where's
Oregon. Yeah,
people?
what's that about?
We're coming to get you guys.
Oh, there's a Southern Oregon. Oh, you spoke too soon.
Hey, where's Arkansas? Come on, need some support.
And we
here.
have Japan,
Oh,
Ibiza,
Woo!
England.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So amazing. You guys are amazing. But can you see, do you see that grid forming around the planet?
Absolutely. Lights up,
Yeah.
lighten up, lighten up. I love it.
Mhm.
So cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so cool. Okay, Tracy, I want to talk about our things, continuing on the heart thing, because that started a topic, but then you called me, right, we talked yesterday. I don't know if you called too, but it went back into this, and it's like, okay, we need to be talking about this on the show.
We
because
do. Yeah.
because and I keep thinking about it, and it's like I have more questions, and I want to do that here in this format, because I think this will be fun. It'll be like Convoluted Universe Live.
Sweet.
Okay.
Guys, I am having so many weird experiences over here. And it's kind of just like my head just keeps going.
Maybe this is your way. This is what's happening.
This
like
might be my shift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my DNA's adjusting.
Mhm.
It is wild. So we talked last week about where do you find the heart in your body, right? And it's center of the chest, but I always remembered it as being on the left. Well, we had another one of those challenges where do you just want me to say exactly what it was, or?
I was trying to tell Jenny about it earlier, and I couldn't remember what the second one was, and we just did it like yesterday. So
Oh
it's,
yeah.
and it's like, see, that's funny that I don't even remember what it was.
Okay, so I've been a practitioner since 2013, so 11 years now. And I have never, ever, ever heard anybody purchasing or
Oh, that was it. That was
the
it.
group regression CD or
yeah, it's a DVD.
DVD, sorry, DVD, or the script for that.
For the group regression workshop.
In my timeline, I acquired that differently. So I'll just say it like that. So,
yeah, she's texting me is like,
oh my God, I was just like,
do they
somebody's
purchase
doing
it
a rogue
separately?
website. Oh my God, the things that were going on over here. I'm like, somebody's doing a rogue website. I've got to ask Julia, we got to nip this. And she's like,
and I'm like, what do you mean?
Talking about?
And it,
so yesterday was the first day I have ever heard that you purchased that through Ozark Publishing. It's a thing. And I was like, And I was going to sit there. I was going to do what we all do. I was going to say, I just must have never known. And I was going to poo-poo that off. And then all of a sudden I start laughing because the whole day yesterday, I did a channel for my YouTube page. I talked to the client that I that had acquired the thing, purchasing it appropriately through the website. So she was like, I'm so glad that worked out. You got it figured out. So anyway, where was I going with all of that?
You were going through the day.
Oh,
You did
the whole day. Yeah, the whole day was about there's going to be subtle shifts, and sometimes you'll catch them and sometimes you won't. And sometimes you'll just think, oh, I must have got that wrong. That was all part of the theme. And so when I'm talking to Julia, I just start laughing. I said, oh, I see what they did. It's like, I was supposed to catch that. And I almost just went, wow, that's really weird. I must have just, I don't know why I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah, I'm like, it's been that way all the time.
Yeah. And she's like, it has always been that way. And I'm like, not
How
in
it
my
is.
reality, it wasn't. Like that. And so anyways, it was really interesting, but I love that also it became very apparent to me that I was supposed to catch that. That was, you know, we're all supposed to pay attention to those things. Don't poo-poo it if you're like, that's weird. I thought it used to be like this, but I must have got that wrong. Don't do that.
Yeah. And so what does that indicate when you notice it?
That you switch timelines. Yeah. So
yeah, and that's why she's like, well, I switched timelines. And I'm like, but it's always been this way. She goes, yes, because that's the timeline you're on. I've been over here somewhere and now I just switched to this one. So here comes in my questions where I'm like, okay, that's great. But then who have I been interacting with all this time up until yesterday?
well, I just merged with that version of Parrot.
Right, exactly. But it's like,
I know I had the same questions. I was like, well, what version of Julia have I been playing with, or you know, my family, or
exactly.
but and you know, we're all going through these shifts, and there'll be things that you'll do that with me. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I don't remember it that way.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. That is going to be a really good question for probably when one of us is under.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
it's
happens?
a great question for the SC. That's what we say. It's a great question for a session. You know, just you ask those kind of questions.
So if somebody out there is going to have a session, maybe ask what happens when you change timelines to the other versions of the people, you know, and like Julia was saying, where's the version of Tracy that I've been interacting with?
Yeah, I get it that you merge with that, but it's like, wouldn't you take on the memories of that one that you're merging with, the one that's been on this timeline that has known all of this?
Yeah. So this always brings me back to the movie, The Butterfly Effect, where he goes back into a scene, you know, he reads his journal and it takes him back to that day and he changes what he does. And then he wakes up and it's a new timeline. And, you know, all the characters are different. They're the same characters. They're just in different places in their life.
Different roles or different
things. Right? Their life went differently because of that change.
Yeah.
And he remembers the old way, but then he gets downloaded with the new one and the new, you know, all the stuff that he did in that timeline gets put in. So,
integrated. Yeah. So when's yours going to get integrated?
But then he still remembers the other one.
Yeah.
Even though he's integrated into the new one. So I'm integrating.
No, and I think it's great because this is what, I mean, this happens to us all the time. We're moving in and out and we're doing all this stuff, but just what's new about this is we are aware, we can be conscious of it. And that's why it was like trying to get your attention. It's like, you need to pay attention to this. You need to be aware this is happening because this is where we're at now. It's like, we can be aware, we can be conscious of it.
Yeah.
And we can grasp it. We can, you know, before we couldn't, we can now.
Yeah.
It might be confusing, but we can grasp it. Like that. You said,
and we're gonna even start
you know?
to understand how that all works, even though right now we're sitting there going, wait a minute, what about? That version of me has always been there on that timeline and in that position. And then, you know, how many versions of us are out there? How many timelines of us are out
Really?
there?
Yeah.
What was the, it's Ant-Man is, he did the quantum something
Yeah.
where they went into the inner
Quantumania.
realms. What was it?
Quantum Mania.
Quantum Mania. And
Mhm.
then he was trying to get to that, maybe you should tell it, Tiffany, because I'm not going to remember. But
Yeah.
every time he thought of a new way to do something, there was another version of him that would appear in that quantum field. And it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
That shows it.
And
really
then didn't he encounter himself in all those different versions?
yeah,
At some
and
point? I
then
remember that.
eventually I think it all comes back to just
Mm.
him. Yeah, that's what we're doing. You know, we're out having all these experiences, and then it
Yeah.
will all come back to just the one.
Mhm.
That's what
Absolutely.
that's the goal, right? We're narrowing down the timelines. So maybe I got to narrow down another one.
Maybe. We're narrowing down them. Well, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Narrowing them down. Or I was just thinking being more aware of them because we don't know how many there are, but that makes sense. There's some that don't serve us anymore. So we won't need to focus
Yeah.
on them. We don't need to pick them back up. So that could be that makes
Yeah,
sense to me.
we're closing out the frequencies we're not in anymore, and we
Yeah.
keep moving into the next
Yeah.
ones.
Very cool. But I thought that was fun. I mean, it's like the mind, it was doing some funny stuff. It's like, we're like, we need to be doing this on the show.
It's just like, we need to get you a doctor, some medication. What do we need to do with you? Yeah, I was
Exactly.
really losing it going, when did we have to, what, that's different than I remember. And yeah, just as much as the heart on the left side.
Yep. Now pretty soon you'll be going, we'll say something about, and you're like, what are you talking about? It's always been there.
Yeah, somebody will come up and do
So
that.
this is great that we have this recorded, because then when you do that, it'll be like,
But
wait
that's
a
what you
minute.
think. But you know, I was sitting there going, well, what about all the movies where it used to be on? Oh yeah, that would all be changed now because it's on the timeline where it existed that way. So this might disappear if we
Yeah.
change timelines again.
It might, or you remember it all because you're conscious of it.
Yeah.
Who knows? But anyway, but if she doesn't remember later, we know what happened. We're here. We are witnesses.
You guys will be like, I remember when.
Uh-huh. And you're gonna go, I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy.
Exactly. You guys are crazy
Yeah, we're all crazy.
in such a great way.
Yes,
Should
absolutely
we
wonderful,
see what the
crazy.
crazies have to ask us?
Let's see.
Very convoluted topic, but what I hear is so all those arguments that I have with partners or friends where they say, I told you or you didn't tell me, is that a timeline shift? That's what I'm hearing.
Oh,
Oh, that's what we can start blaming it on.
Yeah.
Shift the timeline.
well, you accused me of that yesterday. You're like, is this what you're going to start doing now? That was on a different timeline.
Exactly. Hey, it's a very handy excuse.
For all the new agers out there, you got a new out.
Yeah. I think we're going to start seeing it a lot on Facebook probably. Because it'll have its bad moment. Okay, that was a different timeline. Oh, yeah. I shifted, didn't you?
Yeah. Hey, this is the new me on this timeline. No, I know. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. All the memes, get going on them.
Yeah.
I like it. So now we know Tiffany is going to use that as an excuse for sure.
Yep,
Oh,
absolutely.
100%. I can just already see it stumbling with, celebrities when they get caught saying something, they can be like, no, that was a different timeline.
Wasn't me.
Yeah,
It's
that
so
used to be
expansive.
against the law. The timeline I came from, that was legal. I like it.
Oh, well, before questions, I see Desiree is out there, so I just want to say hi.
Hi,
And Kat, I know you changed your name. It's Kat and Jack now, but they said hello to me, so hello.
oh. I'm going to say hello to them anyway. Maybe they'll say hi to me now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hello.
We'll give it a
Hello,
try.
everybody. I'm
Hello,
so glad
everyone.
you're all here. Yes.
Yes, hello, everyone.
Yes, there's just some of you we recognize from different things. So,
That's right.
mhm.
Right.
Yay.
Did you find a good question?
Sorry.
Did you find a good question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
This
Do it.
is from Faye. People from my high school have been spreading unkind rumors about me. If we manifest what we are focusing on, how can I undo the situation I'm in? Should I ignore the drama?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
think
it just gets
so.
worse if you focus on it. So you just don't, you let it go. It doesn't bother you. As soon as you don't focus on it or you don't give it attention, it will go away. They'll find something else. They're just trying to get a rise. They're trying to get a reaction. When you don't give them one, then they'll go somewhere else.
Yeah. You're being
And
triggered,
metaphysically,
Matt.
and metaphysically, that's how, when you don't give it, you take your focus off of something, it goes away. It doesn't have any energy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
I
would
just
say the important part for her to look at is how does it make you feel? It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the people that are
yes.
smack talking, whatever. How does it make you feel?
Mhm.
When have you felt that way before?
Yeah.
What needs to be healed in that? It has nothing to do with what's happening. It's how it's making
Right.
you feel so that you can heal it. But
Mhm.
yes, ignore it. Do not respond to it, because when you don't give it any time, you know how they're just going to be so disappointed that you didn't respond to
Mhm.
that.
Exactly. And they'll go on to something else. But excellent point, Tracy, because that's, anytime it's what you look at, something gets a reaction out of you. If it gets you very upset, then it's trying to show you something about yourself. And that's what, I love, when did I feel like that before? Or what is this trying to tell me? What is this? So do the exploration on yourself, because you created this situation to show you something that you want to learn about yourself.
Absolutely. This
Mhm.
is happening for you.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it. I know it kind of sucks when we feel like people are doing that, but this is all about self-love right now. We're all learning self-love and how to take care of ourselves and not to give that energy. Like Julia was saying, don't give it the energy. They don't deserve it. It's not even about deserving it, because they're doing their role perfectly
Mhm.
to trigger
Yeah.
you in this thing that is ready
Yeah.
to heal.
And this is that part of responsibility, is you asked for it to be done. You asked for them to play that role. And that's the part that's kind of hard. Why did I do that? I wouldn't do that. Why would I? That's hurt.
Now, why would I want
You
them
wanted,
to treat me so
yeah,
bad?
yeah, you wanted to learn something. And when we won't look inside, sometimes the best way to do that is to put it outside of ourselves by other people showing it to us. And
Yeah.
so you've asked them to do this on this other level, not consciously, on this other level. You said, hey, I need some help learning this about myself. Can you help me? And they're like, yes, we would love to help you. We're your best friends
We'll play
in
this
this realm. We would love to help you. And
Yeah.
then they jumped in and they created, you all created this scenario so that you could learn this. They're also learning things too, but the biggest one is you asked for this scenario, and that's what's happening. So it helps. I know it sounds a little crazy, but it does help if when you start realizing you did this, and I created this so I can learn something from it. Just when I was doing it, like sometimes when I did it or before, I used to go, why did I do this? Why did I do this? And I was stuck in a wormhole of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the way to get out of that, because that's taking responsibility. I acknowledged I did it, but then I was in that, why did I do it? And all that stuff. We do everything to learn something. So if you can just jump to, what am I learning? That'll get you shifting and moving through it.
Sometimes you get to the end of it and then you look back and go, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I see what all happened. Yeah, I've done that before, where I'm in it going, why is this happening? What am I learning? Da, da, da. And it wasn't until I got to the end that I could look back and go,
Yeah,
oh,
all the pieces got together.
yeah. And you land, your feet land finally, and you're like, oh, it was all getting me here. Okay. So Faye, I believe was your name. I want you to say, I love that these guys are doing this so that I can heal this, and I'm going to learn so much, and it's going to just slingshot me forward in my ascension, like claim the goodness of it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. Is that
have a
claiming again?
yeah, we're going to with that.
Yes. Be grateful for them, the players in your play, the actors in your play.
Yeah. Like it. Okay,
Mhm.
Tiffany, what
Yeah.
else you got for us?
Well, first, Lori from last week, we were talking a lot about her, I think it was her right side shoulder issue stuff. She just
Okay.
gave an update. She said, tell your mom my right side issues are improving since last week and thank you all. And then she also said she's thanking herself because her body was telling her what she needed to pay attention to.
Absolutely. And what is it goes away when you're getting the message. So see, you're listening now, and that's why it's going away. You are talking to your body, you're listening to it now, so it doesn't have to talk to you in that way. So it will go away. You're saying it's lessening, just keep talking to it. What else do you want me to know? Is there anything else? Just keep talking. You know, what are you trying to show me? And once you got the full lesson and you understand what you need to do, it'll go away completely. That's very cool. Thank you, Lori. Thank you for loving yourself enough to do that for yourself.
Absolutely. That's the best.
Mhm.
This, I guess, is kind of a segue into this next one. This would be, this is from Rose. And so they say, after last week's show, I asked my body what message it was trying to tell me. I have asked it this question every day for years. The next thing I came across online after asking self that question was advising to get checked for Epstein Barr virus. As I have researched it all week, my symptoms make sense to be linked to that. This being incurable, what does it matter if I get checked for it or not? Will it really make a difference with clearing my pustular psoriasis?
Okay. So here's the thing about diagnoses. It's, you know, a diagnosis name is just given to a set of symptoms to be able to get insurance payment. That's it. It's they in order to get insurance to cover different treatments, different things, you have to have a name. That's just how it operates. So that's why we don't even fool with names. We look at symptoms. The symptoms are the messages. So you want to look at exactly what are those, and then those are going to be guidelines as to what it's trying to tell you. And you talk to that body part, you talk to those symptoms, you talk to all of that and say, what are you trying to tell me? You worded that when you said what you said just now, it was worded a little differently. And I want you to word it exactly the way I'm saying it, because that's where you get the clear answer. The way you said it, it's kind of vague and it's open, and that's not how the body works. You want to talk to it and you say, what are you trying to tell me? That's very clear. What do you want me to know? Once you get an answer to what are you trying to tell me, then you go, what do you want me to know? And that's where it's giving you more information. And then what do you want me to do? See, that's very clear. So and however it comes, I would just be, when you say, okay, this diagnosis, it's incurable. That's not what the body's going to tell you. That's not how it works. You've got to go deeper. There's something at the bottom of this. Look at the symptoms. I mean, we could do back and forth here. But it's really about you just getting still and quiet. What do you want me to know? What do you want me to do? I mean, what are you trying to tell me? What do you want me to know? And what do you want me to do? Okay, that's your homework.
Phew.
And
You got out of California, but you didn't get out of Soul Speak. Ha 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 ha.
There we go. So because that's what it would have been on.
Yeah.
The thing is, and I want you to keep asking questions, and don't just, that you'll get an answer. So then I want you to keep asking questions until you get to the bottom of it. If you still have questions, then that means you haven't gone deep enough. You haven't gone all the way. So just keep asking a question. When you get an answer, ask a question about that answer, and then just keep it going deeper until you get what I call is the gold. You'll get to the core issue.
Yeah. An example of this might be like, if you're asking, why is that pain here? It's serving you. I've had people do that, and that's what does it. Ask the next question. How is it serving me?
Yeah.
Well, it's protecting you. How is it protecting me from keeping, and you want to keep asking the question. You see, that's what Leah's saying.
Because you'll keep going.
Keep asking more and more.
Yes, because you'll always get a very broad answer at first. It's nice and vague and open, and it can mean a lot of things. So that's where you want to go deeper to get it more refined till you get to the absolute core message.
Yeah, it's very effective. I've gotten through a lot of things with Soul Speak, so absolutely.
Yeah, and trust yourself. Just trust yourself to know. whatever you get, whatever comes in, however it is, it's an impression. It's, you know, if it's a sense, you might actually hear something. And I like somebody asked earlier today, are you hearing things from physical or is it in your mind's eye? I'm going to call it my mind's ear. So it's like, it's within me. It could be very similar. So am I hearing my thoughts? You can describe it that way. That's how some people it might be. So it's just, don't dismiss anything. Whatever comes in, pay attention to it and then just keep going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love it. You guys, you're getting a lot of really good information right now. I would rewatch this if I were you, just because you're kind of getting some free information here.
Yeah. Oh, you are.
And it's really good information. Yeah. So, all right, Tiffany.
All right, so this is from Cindy. The question is, they had a session with you, Tracy and Daniel, where he told them about their soul essence, where it came from. So the question is, where is your main home after you leave source? You experience lots of different lives, but where is your main home?
After you leave source?
Yes.
Oh, that's a really cool question.
Well, I mean, you would leave source to go into your life.
Yeah.
It's your main home. I mean,
I think source is your main, that's where you come from.
Yeah, it's where you come from.
So like, it's going to be different for everybody. And I think we've talked about this before too. It's like, we only know this much
so
about, you know, the universe. And so that's a really, like, the answer to that question that I could give you today might be different tomorrow and the next day different again. Because we are, just as we're talking about the timelines, we are in this convoluted, multi-dimensional experience. Like, we are more than just the physical body. We close our eyes, we're already in a different dimension. We start expanding our thought, we're in another dimension. We start traveling through time and space through our spirit body, we're in another world, another dimension. So that is really a good question, because
And I'm just from, you know, like
all of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, because we have source, then we have what we call, I mean, and that's our ultimate home, I would imagine. And then we have, like, we go to the spirit side and we're going to different levels there and different places there between lives. But when it's all see, that one still is a little odd because it's all simultaneous. So that means that there isn't a between lives now. It's all happening, it's all occurring simultaneously, but it's still a dimension that we go to. So that one might be the main one. You know, it's like we go there and we're learning when we're not in a physical life.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to simplify it, you draw a beautiful picture of the oversoul.
Yeah.
And we are just one aspect of the oversoul. So the oversoul would be home.
Right.
And the oversoul is part of source. So, wow, these are such good questions. You guys are thinking so deep.
Yeah.
It's like we've hit a new level of questions today.
Very cool.
But yeah, I would say probably your soul, your oversoul, which is connected to all those different lifetimes that you experienced. So you're connecting to all of that, and you're still part of source. So it's all of it. It really is all of it.
Yeah, it's just this oversoul is where you're popping back and forth.
Yeah, that's probably where you're going for your life review and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that's probably it. That's probably the answer.
Yeah.
Probably because
and yeah, maybe ask us again in 6 months, see what we say.
You know, this is based on information and that we have now from things that we do and sessions and things like that. But as, like you're saying, it does go back to we know this much. As more and more is open to us, there may be broader answers down the road. Yeah. But that feels right now.
It does. It feels good. All right. We're settled on that?
Yeah. It is done.
Final answer?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Tiffany, what else we got?
This is from Paige. Do we have soul contracts with narcissists in our lives? It makes it hard to walk away if they are just doing their job.
Yeah.
Remember, agreements, we have agreements with people for different things, but but like we were talking about earlier, we ask people to play roles in our lives so that we can have experiences, so that we can learn things. So whether it's agreed on, it's an agreement. See, and then in that, it's like, can you play this role? So we may be asking somebody to play the role of this really shitty character, and just be horrible to us so that, I can learn to love myself. I can learn to step away. I can learn whatever it is I want to learn, but you're going to have to be like this in order for me to learn that. So see, they're playing a role. The agreement is for them to play that role. The agreement is not that you stay with them forever and ever. The agreement is you play your role so I can learn whatever I want to learn about myself.
Yeah. In fact, the fact that you are connected to them or do love them, but they're treating you poorly or not respectfully, it is harder to leave them and love yourself more, which is why that they play that role, because you're at a whole new level of love myself. I really love you, but I love myself enough to know I shouldn't be treated like that. So I'm going to go. And that's really, really a testament to how much you finally understand you deserve better. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to love yourself and to not let people treat you that way anymore. So they're playing their roles perfectly.
Exactly. They're playing their roles. And that's what we've got to understand is, they just agreed to do that. To other people, they may not be that way at all. Because I look at this, I try to look at all the different directions. It's funny because they're not like that in other places. No, they're like that with you because that's your agreement. That's what you wanted them to be. You wanted them to be that character. And then like when the life is done and you have the review or whatever it is you want to do, you'll look at that and you're going, yeah, you did that really well, and I learned XYZ, but you will be with them until you start figuring it out. That's your agreement. They're going to keep playing that role until you start learning what it is you wanted to learn from that experience.
Absolutely. We're in agreement again. Final answer.
That's that responsibility thing. You created it, and so you can't blame them. You asked them to be that way. So now why?
Why are they still in your life? Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't like the way you feel when they're around, why are you letting that continue?
Yes.
And sometimes it can be a really big leap of faith to change that. And there's a lot more layers to it than just, do I want this person in my life or not? If you're in a committed relationship with them, you built things together. There's more things to consider. So it makes that challenge that much.
It does, but when you go to what am I learning? And you stay there. What am I learning about myself? What am I learning in general? As you start going down that and you are doing the things that, okay, I'm learning this and this and this, and you're appreciating that. So you don't need that person to keep reminding you of these things. You're moving on that path now. And very likely that person no longer needs to play that role. So either they will shift or they will just exit. They're no longer needed. You don't have to do anything sometimes. So it's just you have gone down the road of self-love, and I don't need to respond to you and react and all these things. And it might be you're stepping away. It's whatever feels right for you, that you'll know what to do. That's what you're wanting to learn in this situation. You've probably done this several times before, and that's why you're doing it again. It's like, I really want to learn this.
Yeah, and you might be at a stronger stage of it too. I mean, how many times can we go this relationship again? Or but this time it's like all the red flags, you're catching them this time, and it's like, oh yeah, I don't want this anymore. And you're stronger in your ability to walk away. So yeah. Somebody is asking, how do I submit my question? So I do want to say again, if you come in a little bit late and you want to ask a question, if you're in Facebook, you got to click on the show and open it up in its full form, and then you can ask a question. But you got to put Tiffany in capital letters and maybe put some emojis around it. That way she knows it's a question. And if you're on YouTube, you should just be able to type the question in.
It'll just come on through. Yeah.
Come on through. Okay, so we covered that again. All right. Speaking of questions.
Welcome.
It's nice to have you. Yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
Tiffany.
So I'm going to generalize this because there were a few a few individuals that had like a very similar-ish question.
Okay.
So this is how I'm going to paraphrase it is, do you have any thoughts or suggestions on how one, if they feel that they've lost their way off their path that they should be on, how do they get back?
Okay. If you feel like you've lost your way, I will guarantee you, if you have lost your way, you will have physical issues, because that's usually what the body's trying to tell you when we talk about the body messages. It's usually you have gotten off track and it's trying to get you back on track. So likely you will have some physical things going on, probably with your legs, somewhere in there, hips, knees, ankle, something like that, because that's your walking on your path. And if you've gotten off your path, and it's, there's other ways of doing it, but that's one thing that to know for sure. But if you're feeling like you're lost, and you're not sure if you're lost or not, that's what I'm hearing. Then how do you get back on? Okay.
Well, it's funny. So I inserted that word in myself because I was interpreting it as someone feeling that they've lost their path. I don't believe that they fully lost their path, but
Yeah.
I like how that was my word. So I'll just insert that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
love that. I would say to that, same kind of thing. I always like the GPS analogy of that. You
Mhm.
type in your destination and your car takes, maps you there. And then you're on the way and you're like, oh, I got to go to the restroom. Oh, I want to get a snack. And you veer off this way and you veer off that way. And that GPS is going to get you right back on track and get you going. So
It freaks out sometimes. Reroute. What are you
Yeah,
doing? Where are
no.
you going? You need to turn right, turn right, turn.
you turn. We're waiting for him to come up with the one going, wow, you screwed up. No. But yeah, and so how do they get you back on the path? Well,
Mhm.
yeah, you get these little nudges, and those could be symptoms
Yeah.
and things in life, pushing you a certain direction, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
if you're really off.
yeah, your higher
You
self
know,
is working hard to keep you on.
sometimes I just saw this. This is interesting. I just saw this on Facebook like a couple hours ago. I'm not on Facebook hardly ever, or was it Instagram? It was one of those, and it was a little video, a little reel, and it was like, sometimes if you feel lost, it's actually it's an indication that you just need to go inward, which is what we're saying, listen to your GPS, go inward. And so you're not lost at all. You're just needing to go in and to get clear guidance for yourself. You're never lost. You're never, there's nothing to be lost from. I mean, we're always here. We're always on a thing. We might, like we said, maybe rerouting a little bit, going and having an experience on our way, and that kind of goes off here. The time where the body gets involved is when it's like, you've been playing over here a little long and we got to get you back on track because you have XYZ that you wanted to accomplish at a certain point, so that's where it's like, get back over here. But otherwise, I like that, that's what it just popped in when you said that. And so I'm like, maybe there's some,
Go inward.
so many times it's about going in. So stop looking outside of yourself for the information and for the guidance. You have it all inside. And there's that Geiger counter. Your emotional, listen to your solar plexus area. It's a beautiful barometer, Geiger counter sensor, to direct you. Just if nothing else, of right and wrong, things like that. Do I want this truth, false, things like that? That's a way to start. And then okay, I know where I'm at. I'm getting overwhelmingly, you are not lost. None of you. There's a collective.
I know in my own journey, I've had times like that throughout the years where I just feel like, what am I supposed to be doing? And it turned out that was supposed to be part of my experience, and that helped me to move the direction I was supposed to go. Something was supposed to change. And that's why I was feeling that way, so that I would start looking for that new thing and find my way to it. So it actually could be part of the GPS navigating you to the thing you're supposed to do next. So
yeah, you think it's like getting you to stop long enough to, because
Yeah.
you're stopping when you ask that question.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm lost, when you're exploring that. Yeah. So maybe it's just getting you to pause long enough to get your guidance. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right on track.
Mhm.
Everything, the thing that always comes through with the Octurians is everything is in divine order. They always say that everything's in divine order, but this is chaos. Chaos in divine order. It's
Yeah.
got to be chaos in order for shifts and changes, and we don't know what those people wanted to experience, and just allow it. It doesn't have to be part of your experience if you don't want it to be,
Mhm.
and you can pull your energy back from it.
Yeah,
So
and I'm gonna say that word that I'm sure I bet a lot of people are tired of hearing, but that trust word.
oh,
Trust yourself to know what's right for you and you're on the right path, you're doing it, everything's fine, like you're saying, it's all in order.
mhm.
Trust yourself to be in the right place at the right time and doing what you're here to do.
Your higher self has got a plan. You've got a plan. They're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're working on it. They're not going to let you go astray.
Right. No, they won't.
You get the psychic 2x4 when you do that. We've all
It
had
doesn't feel good.
it, doesn't. So cool. All right. I think we have maybe time for one more.
Oh, wow, man, that time went by fast. Yes, one more question.
These questions are amazing.
They
Yeah.
are amazing. You guys are fantastic.
You started out with that convoluted question and you got everybody
Good.
convoluting.
That's right.
Convoluting. Convoluting. Love it.
Every night when I go to sleep, I put the intention to have a talk with my spirit guides, but when I wake up, I have no memory of it. So what can I do to remember them talking to me?
Then ask to remember it. Because you are talking to them. So now just add on to your intention, and I will remember this conversation when I wake up. It's as simple as that.
Why aren't you asking to talk to them in your awake state?
True. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in your sleep. You can talk to them.
Yeah, we were just talking about how the veil is so thin, if there's even a veil anymore. Just when you, sometimes what I do when I don't trust the things that are popping in my head is I'll write the question down on a piece of paper, and then what do I think they're saying back to me? And just write the first thoughts that are coming in your head, guys, the first thoughts, that's how they talk to you. They are using the thoughts in your head, and just start writing that down and start a journal of questions to your spirit guides. They probably aren't letting you remember it because they want you to do it in the conscious state. Maybe.
Good point. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
right. Do we have
But
time
your
for one more?
intentions are always out ahead of you. So just be very clear with your intentions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Super. We have the 3-minute warning. Okay.
So one more.
Yeah, let's do one quickie.
A quickie.
Oh,
Okay.
let's see. This is from Kat and Jack. I've been experiencing sciatica for a long time. 2 days ago, I went into meditation with the intention of really feeling the pain. It ran away, hasn't shown back up. What happened?
The intention of really feeling it. Interesting. Well, I mean, the sciatica and I mean, that's running down your legs and things like that. It has to do with your path. It would have to do with something. There'd be a lot of other questions as to why it even appeared in the first place. Like, when did it start? What was going on in your life? So it's possible that your meditation and you confronting it up front actually dealt with whatever. But see, there are other pieces there are needed to really give a good answer. But why don't you ask? I want you to ask, you did this, ask them also what happened. But don't go looking for it. You don't have to go look for it because it's delivered whatever it needed to do, but just ask it, what was it about? And yeah, what happened there? In this time span, I mean, if we had more time, we could really delve into it and get nitty gritty, but I want you to ask. We're going to turn the tables. You be responsible. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
You get your answers yourself from yourself.
Power yourself. You have the answers.
You have the answers.
Trust them. There's that word again. Trust them.
Trust.
When they
Trust
come
them,
in.
trust you.
Yeah.
Trust you. Yeah. Okay, Tracy. If people want to reach you, if they want to get a hold of you, if they want to have sessions, they want to have Daniel. You have a lot of different things that you do besides QHHT
do.
sessions. So
Yeah. I
where
even
can they find you?
I even have a little 1 hour journey thing coming up that would be fun about DNA. So that could be fun.
Very cool.
TracyMahan.com, TracyMahan.com.
You
Or
have something, another one in Egypt coming up too?
yes. Oh my
Okay.
gosh. So many things are happening with stuff. Egypt in January, possibly Hilo, Hawaii in August. We're waiting to get confirmation on dates. Then I have another one that could be in Cancun, October-ish. We'll see.
Wow, you're
looking
very
at-
busy.
Oh, this full moon, I'm telling you what, I think it's the full moon energy because all of this has been
Yeah.
within like the last not even 48 hours, probably 24 hours,
Mhm.
just setting this stuff up. And it's like, oh yeah, that would be great. So if you
Very
want to
cool.
keep track of that, TracyMahan.com or go to QHHTofficial.com. My information's there too.
Yeah, and we're having a really cool sale right now on level 1 and level 2. It's our summer solstice sale. So if you are interested in that, you know, if you've ever thought about being a practitioner, this would be a great time. You know, it's at a great price for you. It's QHHTofficial.com for everything QHHT and where you find Tracy. And anyway, we'd love to have you aboard.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We
Love
love
you
having
all.
more family.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tiff, for taking care of everybody and sorting
Yeah.
through the questions.
Thank you, Tiffany, that we get to spend this day with you. I know.
Thank you.
I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Love you so
Bye,
much.
everybody.
Bye.